The families of two Americans fighting in Ukraine say the men have been missing for nearly a week. Both men are from Alabama. There are fears that the men have been captured by Russian forces, but the White House is still trying to confirm that information.
In just a few hours, the third January 6th committee hearing before the American people is set to begin. The focus this time will be on former President Trump's effort to pressure Vice President Mike Pence to block the certification of the 2020 election. Coverage is expected to begin around noon, and we will bring it to you live on air once the hearing begins.
Interest rates on the rise. The Federal Reserve is boosting a key rate by 0.75%, the biggest single hike in nearly 30 years, in an effort to try and turn inflation around. Fed Chair Jerome Powell said the same kind of increase could be on the table at next month's Fed meeting if inflation doesn't slow.
The high cost of gas and food is forcing many Americans to cut spending on other items. The monthly government reading on retail sales showed a drop of 0.3% in May compared with April. The shift to higher spending at gas stations and grocery store is an alarm bell for the U.S. economy.
An FDA advisory panel supports COVID-19 vaccines for children 6 months of age to 5 years old. Next, the FDA will decide whether to authorize the vaccine for emergency use. Then, the CDC's vaccine advisors would vote whether to recommend the shots, which is expected to happen Saturday. The vaccines are signed off on by the FDA and the CDC. The White House said shots could start as early as next week.
New data shows Customs and Border Protection stopped nearly 240,000 migrants from crossing into the U.S. from Mexico back in May. That's a 2% increase compared to April. Title 42 is still in place, which allows authorities to turn migrants away at the border, but there's little legal consequence if they attempt to cross again. And officials say that has contributed to migrants making multiple attempts to cross the border.
Extreme weather across the U.S. right now. Wildfires are the concern in places like Arizona and California, and the National Weather Service predicts more dangerous temperatures in these areas today. Power grids in some places are struggling to keep up. More than 100,000 customers across the U.S. have no power, and now forecasters say severe storms are moving through the lower Great Lakes region.
Ford is recalling 2.9 million cars and SUVs that could roll away even when placed in park. The vehicles are the 2013 to 2019 Escape, 2013 to 2018 C-Max, 2013 to 2016 Fusion, and 2013 to 2021 Transit Connect. The issue comes from a problem with the transmission.
President Joe Biden commemorating Pride Month by protecting members of the LGBTQ community. He signed an executive order yesterday that includes actions to protect children from conversion therapy and safeguard programs to prevent youth suicide. The order also creates a new initiative to protect foster youth. And that's today's 9 at 9.